Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time ever watching a video of mine, hello, my name is Lonyea, and in today's video, we are going to be starting our palette series. So if you don't know what a palette series is, it is something that I like to do on my channel whenever I get a hot, poppin', or really popular palette. I like to take that one specific palette and try to create 5 different eye looks. Sometimes it's 4, it all depends on what's going on in my life, honestly. But I tried to do a video from Monday all the way to Friday showing you 5 different looks that you could create using the eyeshadow palette. So for example, I've done, most of them that I do are for like my ABH palettes. I've done the Norvina palette, I've done the Prism palette, I've done Soft Glam, I think I did Subculture, and I also did the Jaclyn Hill, the little booklet palettes, the mini collection, the bulk collection or whatever, and then I also did her palette. Also the Morphe 3502. So there are a ton of these in my playlist. So if you don't know or want to see kind of like what it is, I will make sure that I link the playlist. Well, there's multiple playlists, so I can't link the playlist, but go ahead and click on the playlist tabs at the top of my little home screen and you'll see all of the videos there, just in case you were interested. Today's video is going to be on the Jackie Aina palette. If you have not seen the review or first impression of that video, I'll put it in the cards right above here somewhere, wherever the card pops up. I think it pops up like right here. So I'll put it in the cards right above me here. You can just tap on that and click on that and you can watch that, or just go to my page and you can watch it there. But we are going to be doing a look today. I think I want to do WIGGALESE today. I really like this color. I've been swatching them. Like last night I just got back from vacation and I swatched WIGGALESE, I swatched Trust Issues, Dola's, Sponsored, and I think that was it. And I swatched all of these colors and I'm like, which one do I want to use? And I think I'm gonna do WIGGALESE and Trust Issues today. I'm gonna do like an ombre like kind of look. So let's get started with that. I am going to prime my lids. I'm gonna go ahead and prime them with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. And then I'm just gonna set it down with this Makeup Forever. This is a high definition pressed powder. It's just something I've had for like literally years. It's like a little sample size. And then we'll get started on the eyeshadow. So I went ahead and just scooted in a little bit so that way you guys can see a little more up close because it's kind of far from the camera. I am actually going to start with Modern Renaissance. Everybody knows this palette. We love this palette. This is a great palette. Honestly, I like the palette, but I think it was more so geared towards lighter skin. Like I find myself it's harder for me to use like Raw Sienna and Burnt Orange, Golden Ochre, Tempera, Warm Taupe, Buon Fresco, like those kind of shades. It's hard for me to use those besides for like a lid shade. But I do like Red Ochre in this palette, and obviously Love Letter, Cypress Umber, and Rogar, but Red Ochre is the shade that I'm going to be taking out of this palette. So I'm thinking I'm going to do like more of a red kind of crease. So I'm going to take Red Ochre from this palette. This is a Stelazzi Precision Crease Blender in L216, and this is just going to go into my crease. And I'm really going to build this shade up because I really want this shade to peek through to pull out the red tones in WIGGALESE. Because WIGGALESE is kind of like that reddish, kind of coppery shade. And I really want to make sure that those tones get pulled out. So this is just going to go into the crease. And I'm just going to keep buffing and blending this shade up. So I first start into the socket of the crease. And then I start, once the color is pretty much distributed into the crease, I just start to lightly blend it upwards. And I'm doing some circular motions just to buff that inward. Now, if you feel like you need like a transition shade up there, I just wiped off the brush a little bit. And I'm going to take a little bit of ginger, just because ginger is a little more like orange neutral. I'm just going to take a little bit of ginger just to kind of run it up towards the top. It's not going to do too much, but it's just going to help to blend that in. Oh, I need to pluck those hairs. That is annoying. Okay, so now that we have Red Ochre into the crease, I'm going to take a little bit of Credit right here. It's like a chocolate kind of color. And this is going to go into the crease. This is going to add some definition. And I like that Credit is more of like a chocolatey brown with like some purple undertones. So it's going to really help to pull this look together. And I am using a Morphe M433 brush. Packing this into the outer V as well. And just making sure I'm packing it out here and then just blending it into the crease. Because this is going to end up being, it's not necessarily going to be a half cut crease, but it is going to be like a cut, like a half smoky eye, I guess you could say. Because I'm not going to use any concealer to cut the crease, but I am going to take eyeshadow and like blend it upwards, so. My camera is really playing me today. There we go, there's my face. I'm bringing this color inwards as well, just like about right here. And then just blending it. Now you can keep packing on Credit to get as dark as you want. I'm gonna take a little more red ochre, just to kind of go over the two, kind of marry the two together. And then I think I'm gonna stop right there. So what I am going to take, I'm gonna take, is this pigment primer. It's from NYX. And this is just gonna really give the eyeshadow like a tacky base to stick onto. So even though we're not using a wet concealer or, you know, something to cut the crease, I still wanted to make sure that I had that tacky wet base so the eyeshadows really pop and look foiled. So I'm just going to take the end of that ABH brush and just take this pigment primer. And this is for loose pigment, so that's why it's called a pigment primer. But, you know, loose pigment, pressed pigment, tomato, and take this and just put it all over where I'm going to apply this eyeshadow. And then I'm going to start with Trust Issues right here. This is a Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadow brush. I love to use this brush when I'm using like a glittery kind of eyeshadow. And I'm going to take this into the first like 1/2 of my eyelid space. Also make sure that you blend this upwards. So about right there. Then I'm going to take the other side of the brush. I'm going to take some of WIGGALESE, which is the main star of the show. And this look can be done with just WIGGALESE if you'd like to. I just really like to, I just got some purple on my brush. I just really like to do like the double, like two colored kind of eye looks. I think that they look really cool. But you want to make sure that you take some of WIGGALESE. Like right now, I'm taking some of WIGGALESE and I'm going to take it right where Trust Issues was. Just to kind of marry those two colors together. And I'm going to keep going back and forth with those colors just to make sure that they get kind of blended over. So now I'm covering Trust Issues just to get it blended in. And then I'm going to go back in with Trust Issues to go over the top of that just to kind of make sure that I'm going to marry those two together. Because when you're doing like two colors like this, you want to make sure that those colors look blended and married and, you know, all together. So like I said, I take some of the color and just go over it, like right over the line, and just kind of light pressure, just kind of lightly pressure and just kind of fade it over it. And then I'll flip the brush back over and go in with the other color and fade it into the other color. So it just takes not a lot, but it takes a little bit of time going back and forth. But if you want your colors to be nice and blended, it's definitely worth it. And I'm blending just a tad bit of WIGGALESE, whatever's left on my brush, just out in the outer edge, and then I'll go back and blend them together. So now I'm just going to flip that brush back over, take more of Trust Issues, like I said, and just start to blend that towards WIGGALESE. And then you'll have a nice kind of gradient, double color kind of look. I love doing this. I think it just looks so cool and just so different. So I'm actually gonna take a Sigma E35 blending brush with some of Credit on it and use it just just to go through the crease and just to blend the colors together. Because like I said, I didn't want this to be a harsh cut crease. I wanted it to kind of be soft, more of like a blown out kind of look. So by just going over it with a blending brush, it's just going to soften up that edge, which is what we want, and soften the edge out here as well. So lastly, I'm going to take credit on a E15 by Sigma and just go along the lash line because I didn't want to do liner per se. I didn't want to make this look really harsh. So my trick is to use like eyeshadow and just use it as like a smudging kind of softening technique. And it still lines the lash line and gives the lash line some definition, but it also makes it a little softer than like a harsh line of eyeliner. So just like that. And then you can take a brush like this Morphe M506 with some of credit and use it as like a smokening effect, like a blending effect. So it's gonna blend it and not make it harsh because of the flat definer brush. So this is just going to soften the line a little bit like that. And I just like doing this personally, just like I said, to just not have eyeliner but still have something to define my lash line for whenever I'm doing like lashes or something like that. But by all means, this look would look really pretty with a nice wing eyeliner. I think it would, but I like the cohesiveness of the lash line color matching the crease color. I think that looks really cool. Okay, so for lashes, I'm not sure which ones I want to wear today. I picked out two. These are the Yonsei lashes from Lena Lashes. I've had these for probably like, oh my gosh, I've probably had these lashes for like 5 years, like probably as long as Sydney has been alive. I'm not even kidding. But I've like held on to them because they used to be like my absolute favorite lash, and Lena Lashes had like reached out to me to send me more lashes, and then they just never did. So I'm just like, they're kind of expensive, so I'm just gonna save them. But I also have my Icon lashes in Brooklyn that I don't know if I want to wear them. These are a little more wispy, but I think I'm going for a little more like dramatic glam. So I think I'm gonna pop on my Lena Lashes in the style Yonsei and do my other eye, and then I will be back for my face. And I'll be back for the lips because I think we're gonna do some color today, you guys. I think we're gonna do some color. Okay, guys, so I am back. I'm back. I am gonna take this Milani Stay Put eyeliner. It's in the shade Picante, and it's kind of like that kind of color as WIGGALESE. So this is gonna go on my waterline. It's not like identical, but it still kind of has like that reddish kind of hue to it. And I thought that would be really cool to put into my waterline. So shout out to Milani for sending this to me. I also have some Milani palettes that I'm going to be doing a look with soon as well. So stay tuned for that. But what we're going to do is take more of credit and just pop that onto the lower lash line. So first I'm going to place it with a E15 flat definer brush from Sigma, just right underneath of the lash line, just to kind of place it. Then I'm going to smudge it out a little bit with that small Morphe brush, but I want to make sure I get really tight to the lash line. This is the Morphe brush, it's the M506 that I used in my crease, but I really like this brush. Like, I bought a couple of brushes from Morphe that are small like this, and I really have been enjoying them. It's just nice to get in a tight area kind of underneath of the lash line, and popping credit under there is just going to blow it out a little bit and just add a little bit of definition as well. So I'm going to take the other end of the ABH brush and more of red ochre just right underneath of credit, just to emulate kind of what I did at the top, also just to help smoke it out. This is, once again, 100% optional. If you like the look without doing anything to the lower lash line, which I really did, definitely don't do anything to the lower lash line. But I felt like if I just popped on some eyeshadow under here and smoked it out, I think it'd connect to the upper lash line, but also look really good. And I'm just connecting them out here as well. And this is a really blown out look as well. Definitely not everybody's cup of tea, but I think it looks really poppin'. And then final step is just to take more of Trust Issues and just kind of take it in this inner portion of the eye. Just like that. I love Trust Issues. Trust Issues is probably my favorite color. Like, I thought I loved like other colors in this palette, but now that I've actually used Trust Issues and I see it on my eye, I'm just like, wow, she's that girl. So for lips, I thought I'd do something kind of like with the same reddish kind of hues. So I'm gonna first take ABH's Liquid Lipstick in Taboo. And this is a little darker than what WIGGALESE is. WIGGALESE is a little more like reddish, but this is just gonna go out on the outer edge, kind of like a lip liner. So now I'm gonna take some of Stripped, which is really light, just to kind of ombre this, because I don't like it completely one color. I never really use an ABH liquid lipstick, like one of them. I always like mix them, unless it's sepia or Starfish. Alright, you guys, so that wraps up the first ABH x Jackie Aina Palette Series. I hope you guys enjoyed this look. I really liked how it turned out. I think it's so pretty. WIGGALESE is just such a really pretty color. Like, it's like a coppery red. It's so pretty. And Trust Issues, like I said, it's probably my my favorite color out of the entire palette. Because it's like, it looks white, but it's a white gold, and it's super, super, super reflective and sparkly. It looks really good. I'm in love. I love this look. Let me know what you guys think. Also, let me know what other looks you guys want to see out of this palette. Tomorrow, I think I'm going to play with the Duochrome, the blue-brown color. I think I'm going to play with Sponsored tomorrow. This one right here. I've been really, really intrigued by that color, but I also want to use Lituation in a look too, because it's like that purpley color. I think I'm gonna do like Lituation with Pinker and Supreme. I think that's the vibe that I'm going with. So I think I'm gonna do Sponsored tomorrow, which is Tuesday. Wednesday, Lituation, and then Thursday, Zolas, and then Friday, I think I'm gonna use Supreme on Friday, like as a lid color, and maybe like with a little bit of Soleil, or maybe Zam. Because I already used Shookington and Zam. I used WIGGALESE and Trust Issues. Like, I've used 4 colors out of all of the shimmers. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shimmers, and I've already used half of them. So, yeah, I'm super excited. I'm super excited. I am excited to be able to do a palette series, and personally excited to just be able to use like one palette to create a look. Like, and you could have created this look without using red ochre, but if you have red ochre, why not use it? So, I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I will see you guys in the next video.